I'm going to look at our D climates, the first being the humid continental climate. To be a D climate, the requirements is that your average temperature for your coldest month be less than 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and the average temperature of the warmest month must be greater than 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So, in other words, continental climates, a D climate, it makes sense. A land based climate, we're going to have a pattern in which the winter period is going to be very, very cold. So, that's where we have an average temperature where the coldest month is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Is that Indiana? Yeah, we actually are. That's right about border. We're about 30 degrees, 31 degrees Fahrenheit is the average temperature in our coldest month. Now, what about the average temperature of the warmest month? Is it greater than 50 degrees Fahrenheit in Indiana? Of course it is. And so these are places in which the D climates in which we're going to see the winters are cold, but the summers are hot or warm, or at least above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's take a closer look at these particular patterns we see in terms of the humid continental climates, the ones I have highlighted here, the DFB, the DFA, the DWA, the DWB. And so the DFA and the DFB, let's focus over here. These are the humid continental climates of North America. And so right here, this lighter blue, that's Indiana. So one of the characteristics of the continental climates in this area is we actually have very hot summers. In fact, brutally hot summers. Whereas if you go to this lighter color blue, still humid continental, but the characteristic there is the summers, they're not as hot. They're more mild. And we see that similar pattern here in Europe, in which we have a little sliver of humid continental, in which they have a hot summer, and then this larger area where we have a humid continental with more milder summers. Now, this DWA, DWB business, the W stands for a winter drought. And that's what we're going to find over here in Eastern Asia. So our good friends North Korea, parts of China, parts of Russia are this humid continental climate in which it has a pronounced winter dry period. That's what that W stands for, a winter drought period. And this all happens to do with this high pressure that dominates in this particular area of the world during the winter time. So we think about a high pressure. High pressures, they spin, in this case in the northern hemisphere, they spin clockwise. And so we got to kind of think about a spinning clockwise high pressure that dominates. What's it doing? What's it doing is it's bringing, let me move that back, is it's bringing down cold, dry air from the north. And so it's essentially bringing with it cold, dry air from the north as this high pressure dominates. But with this high pressure that spins and dominates throughout much of the winter, it also blocks mid-latitude cyclonic systems. And so mid-latitude cyclonic systems aren't moving through this area. They're getting blocked by the central Siberian high pressure that dominates this area, creating the winter dry period. So finally, this is a northern hemisphere phenomenon. If I haven't mentioned it already, we're not going to find these particular humid continental climates in the southern hemisphere where we're so water dominated.